All right. And I'm joining my guest this evening, the conduit of karma, Kaia McKenna, is joining me right now. How's it going?
I'm doing good, Kenny. How are you doing this evening?
Doing real good. Thank you so much for taking the time and being on this program this evening. Thank you so much.
Of course, I appreciate you guys having me on this evening.
Absolutely. So, before I get into the wrestling questions, as you all know, as we all know, we're dealing with the pandemic affecting the wrestling industry, especially on the independent scene. Um, how's everything holding along for you? How you been feeling um, as far as the pandemic in wrestling wise?
I'm actually glad you asked that because it has been a little bit of a challenge pursuing my rookie year in wrestling during a pandemic. But, we can't let these things that are challenges hold us back in life, right? So, while it was a little bit difficult at first, I was kind of able to formulate a plan where I could continue to get some training in a very safe environment, where I was able to work a couple of shows, get some matches under my belt, where I was still able to go help out at some places that had really good COVID protocol. So for me, it's gone very well, but it's very much been a process of learning to adapt and overcome.
That is absolutely true. Now, I have interviewed wrestlers that's had experience prior to this year. So they kind of having to go learn this on the fly. Here you are, in your rookie year, like, okay, I'm training, I feel good about myself, I'm ready to show the people what I could do. And here comes another obstacle named COVID-19. And it's hitting us, all of us in some way, shape, or form. To you, credit, you've been able to adapt and making sure that you find yourself in a safe environment, obviously. So props to you and to all the wrestling shows and trainers that's been focusing on these protocols and making sure that everybody's safe.
Yes, I feel very fortunate that I have so many good people in my life in wrestling that do want to learn how to adapt this business to the current climate while keeping everybody safe. And that's such an important thing, right?
Mhm.
Nobody wants to like stop dead in our tracks, but we all need to take care of each other at the end of the day. So I love that at Black and Brave, everybody, when they train now, they wear masks. Everybody has to have a COVID test. When I train at Worldwide Dojo in Pennsylvania with Cheeseburger and Sumi, it's the same deal. Everybody has to have a mask. You have to have a COVID test. It's really all of us just taking care of each other as a community in wrestling, as a big family. So it's nice to see that there are these really awesome places that are really trying to do things the right way. When I when I do ring crew at GCW, it's the same deal. They want everybody to have their masks on to be socially distanced. They do temperature checks at the door. They make sure all of the fans are comfortable in their seating. So it's just learning how to take care of each other as we all navigate these times.
That is the one thing I notice, whether it's going through training or going through these shows. You hear people like take a COVID test, COVID test. Um, from what I've been on social media like everybody else. I read what people are saying, and a lot of people are saying you should take a COVID test before you go to these shows. You should take a COVID test after these shows. Now, some are saying it more than others, and those who are saying it, I say props to you. Um, just it's very, very important. Like we have to find a way to flatten this curve because it's just getting bad every single day. And credit to these promotions and to these trainers for having these protocols for the wrestlers and fans to follow, and hopefully everyone will do their part. I keep hearing so much about brotherhood and sisterhood, and I'm really seeing it, at least from a distance, virtually. And wrestlers and everyone are taking this seriously, and We would get through this together. Um, and the cheeseburger, I like cheeseburger. He's cool, very cool cat. Um, so you talk about Black and Brave. That is a well-known academy. Very very familiar with that. Shout out to Mr. Brave and to a certain individual that we all know and love. You know, the man who just became a father recently, Mr. Seth Rollins. Congrats to him and Becky on the birth of their baby boy. Um, so let's talk about this academy. How did you get involved with that? What made you um, join the academy as far as training and everything?
Personally, for me, I just, when I do something, I want to do it full fledged and I want to do it the best I can. And that is one of the best schools in this country that you can go to for wrestling. So when I decided that I needed to expand my wrestling training beyond the foundation that I currently had, I thought that there was no other better place to go than Black and Brave. So I applied and I was accepted into the January 2020 class. And I do have to say, it is a very, very good school, but it is a very, very tough school. They have a very high expectation of you physically. They want you to be able to perform safely. They want you to be confident in your ability to wrestle. And they really have this little curriculum established to get you there in the time of 3 months, which is just absolutely incredible and speaks to their ability as coaches.
I've heard so much good about Black and Brave, and you know, I'm used to seeing Seth Rollins, the performer. He's one of the best to do it in this generation for sure. But this is also encouraging for a guy of his caliber and Mr. Brave as well to just have this academy, to have talents like yourself, the next crop, the next generation. Um, and who knows, we might be seeing them on TV screens someday. So I would like what I hear from this academy, and I look forward to hearing more from them in the first place. As far as the academy, as far as advice, because you get advice from the trainers, obviously. What's the best advice they giving you during your time at the Black and the Brave Wrestling Academy? What's the best advice you've gotten from the trainers?
I actually, when you're out there at the end of every class, both Mr. Brave and Seth Rollins and Crotch will sit down with us and they kind of open the floor up for us to ask them any questions we may have. And one day when I was there, a student asked a question as to like, how do you decide what moves you want to do? Like, how do you figure out what you want to do as a wrestler, right? And it was really cool because all of the coaches had their own take on it, but Becky Lynch was there that day. And her piece of advice was to find what you do well and focus on getting really, really good at that instead of thinking of all the things you don't do well. And it really that was such good advice to me because, sometimes we have the things we can do and we focus on the things we can't, but to be able to refocus on the things that you are doing very well and get really, really good at them just helps you elevate yourself as a performer, and it keeps you from getting in your own way of your growth. So just to hear that, it was such good advice, and it kind of like took a little bit of weight of pressure off of my chest personally, because I now didn't feel like I had to be able to do every little thing. I could really hone in, and that was just such good advice.
Hearing that from the man herself, that's pretty awesome. That's WrestleMania main eventer herself. Coming through, and that's good. It's
You do
encouraging.
you, right? You do what you do good. You do you, and when you be yourself, everything falls into place.
Absolutely. So, wrestlers are known for like nicknames, stage names. You call yourself the conduit of karma, which is a very intriguing nickname. state nickname. I like that. Um, so how did you became the conduit of karma? How did that came about?
I realized that it came about sort of because I'm a witch. I'm a good witch though. I'm a very happy good witch, and I want nothing but good vibes and good energy for anything in wrestling that I'm involved in. And that's when I realized that I was sort of a conduit for these vibes, and I wanted to make sure that I wanted something to kind of go with my name that also reflected what I was trying to portray in my character. And it just simply made sense that as somebody who was a witch, I was the conduit of karma. And I was there representing the good and making sure that balance stayed in place.
I appreciate the vibes for sure. You are definitely a very positive, uplifting person, and I
Thanks
respect that
so much.
because wrestling can take a toll on a human's body mentally and emotionally. And I'm just a fan. Like I love what y'all do for a living. I love the entertainment, just the thrill, the cheers, the boos, and everything. But man, I don't know how y'all go through these pains time and time again. And as a fan, to all the wrestlers, especially during this pandemic, that's just giving us some entertainment during these trying times. Thank you. Thank you, and everyone has wrestled, that's been able to wrestle, just to give them that escape. Because with so much happening, man, we need some hope. We need some uplifting. And I feel like wrestling has adapted just as good as any other sport or other form of entertainment in 2020 for sure.
Yeah, and it's kind of a two-way street because while we're out here doing our thing to the best of our ability with the current circumstances, like we rely so heavily on the support of you guys. Like and not being able to wrestle every week like many people in wrestling are used to doing, not being able to train, multiple times a week or, all these constraints that are now on us and limiting our ability to have content and like get you guys the wrestling you want to see, but you all are still there and you're still supporting us and you're still interacting with us on social media and you're liking our pictures and you're watching our old matches and like you're watching our content from the past and like you're helping us keep the machine going too. So it's like, well, yeah, it's cool that everybody's making an effort to keep stuff going. I think that a big part of that is the fans wanting to keep it going and wanting to support us no matter what's happening. So thank you guys for staying engaged. That's such a huge part of it too.
Pretty much. And I was watching some old matches of yours before I got on the air. I watched you with Debbie Kane. And I'm getting familiar with your work. You have quite the interest. You got the theme song. You got everything. And I hope to see you once things get a lot more safer, for you to see you wrestle in person. I definitely like to see Kaia McKenna come through. I live in Kentucky, so hopefully Kentucky can get their act together so I can get Kaia McKenna out here and perform for the people. So given everything that has happened, you have any as far as matches that you were able to partake of? Do you have any favorite moments, favorite highlights in the wrestling appearances that you've been a part of this year that stood out to you the most?
There's been a couple. I've really been fortunate in the small handful of things I've been able to partake in have all had good moments. I really enjoyed when I had my second match with Debbie that I was able to rip her arm off and win. That was so gratifying after the first match when she cheated. Oh my goodness, I was so happy. That was karma. So that was a good moment. I've been partaking in Camp Leapfrog this year. It is a wrestling summer camp series that airs on IWTV.
Mhm.
And just all of the fun things that we've gotten into with that show has been so fun, so great to be involved in. I was in a swimming pool battle royal that's nominated for an IWTV award. Like I was in, we saved the world from demons on Halloween. And we actually, on December 24th, have a trios tag tournament show, a Camp Leaf Frog Christmas trios show that will be airing at 8 p.m. So and I am on a team, so I'm so excited for that. And the other thing is I just recently returned from Vegas where I performed on a show titled Poder Dos, and I wrestled a young lady named Estrella. And she was so awesome to wrestle because it really challenged me. You know, I hadn't wrestled anybody of her stature yet, and it made me think outside the box as to how I could be successful in that match. So that was a really, really good match. You can catch that on Fight.
Yeah, I seen that match too. That was quite a match. I definitely enjoyed that one. And yeah, and Debbie, that arm, ooh, yeah. Don't mess with
Maybe
Kaia
she'll
now.
play nice. Maybe
Yeah.
she'll play nice moving forward.
So as we approach 2021, and future, let's be honest, still uncertain, but there's hope, you know, with the vaccine on the way and everything. And that's a touchy subject. And as far as, you know, more wrestling shows that you are able to do as we enter the new year, who are some competitors, whether it's major promotions or those on the independent scene? Who do you want to go up against in 2021?
Honestly, I am open to wrestling any competitor that's going to make me a better wrestler. And people that are going to elevate me. Like, I love challenges. Like, I'll wrestle men, I'll wrestle women, I'll wrestle anyone who's going to help me get to that next level. And I think that that's the best way to be, is you don't want to limit yourself moving forward. You want to have goals, but you don't want to have limitations. And for 2021, my challenge is open. You know, like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
The conduit of karma, laying down the gauntlet in 2021. She said she'd take on anybody, anyone, don't matter who, you know, she was take on any comers. So I just want to know who's going to set the challenge. That's what I want to know. So I'll be keeping an eye on that for sure. You can follow Kaia on social media at Kaia MCK on both Twitter and on Instagram. That's the exact same handle. That's Kaia MCK. I almost almost mistakenly called MGK for some reason. I don't know why, but it's
It could be
MCK.
MK.
So Kaia, it was great
I'm not
chatting.
that hardcore though.
Yeah. So it was great chatting with you. Thank you so much for being on the show this evening. I'm happy that you're safe first and foremost, because health and safety is definitely a top priority for sure. And I'm glad you was able to get some shows in, and being able to adapt in your rookie year. And I feel like, quite honestly, given your work ethic and your good character, um, being easy to work with, you have a bright future. I really believe that. And I look forward to seeing what's next for Kaia McKenna in 2021. So thank you for your time. Continued success. Be safe. And hopefully we'll do this again.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you having me on this evening, and I appreciate all the support. I hope that I can keep you entertained moving into 2021. I'm really excited and ready to do this.
Keep the good vibes going, because quite honestly, we all need some for sure. You have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks again.
You too. You have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.